Ernest and Adeline's numbers came up. They threw a party down the street. Everyone said they deserved luck at last. And some of them hoped for a treat. So Ernest and Adeline made dreams come true for all of their kith and their kin. They wondered what else they could possibly do now that the shock had sunk in. It was 40 years earlier that Ernest and Adeline met in the National Gallery. Between them they had just enough for a sandwich and a cake and 2 small cups of tea. They first held hands at a picture of sunflowers, too overwhelmed to move off. 40 years on, Ernest knew what to do. He'd buy Addie a Vincent van Gogh. He knew where to hang it precisely. There was a spot just above the TV stand where they'd once hung a photo of a good-looking boy never come home from Afghanistan. So Ernest queued up for the auction and stood politely at the back. He raised his hand as the bidding went higher and higher, and the zeros thinned out the pack. Asked by a toff, "Can you afford a Van Gogh? What are you worth precisely?" 147 million, said Ernest. 900,000 and 46p. They wouldn't let Ernest take home the picture that day, though he'd like to have cut such a dash. He brought a carrier bag specially, and he'd come quite prepared to pay cash. When it arrived a week later in a great armoured van, Addie thought her heart would fail. But she held it together just long enough to hang Vincent van Gogh from a nail. For finally covering a crack on the wall, in a space just above the TV, she had sunflowers growing forever, where a good-looking boy used to be. She had sunflowers growing forever, where a good-looking boy